sports area.
It's midday.
Top stories, real voices.
Have arrived in Lagos, according to authorities in Nigeria.
Tune in to Adamimogo 107.7 FM for a fresh perspective on news. Adamimogo 107.7 FM. The voice.
Thanks for joining us on Global Books. My name is Kingsley Iniovosa. Now the news in detail. I will begin from Nigeria, where the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Abubakar, has reiterated the federal government's determination to tackle banditry and insecurity in the country. The minister stated this when he paid a courtesy visit to Governor Obasani at the Sir Kashim Ibrahim Government House in Kaduna as part of his official tour of the Northwest Zone. The visit is aimed at finalizing preparations for the launch of Operation Fansa Yama, a joint military theater command established to tackle insecurity in the region. Abubakar, while speaking to newsmen shortly after the visit, he emphasized that the establishment of a command and control center in the Northwest Zone is a crucial step in addressing the menace of banditry. Kenya's President William Ruto has nominated Interior Minister Kithure Kindiki as his new deputy president. Speaker of the Parliament Moses Wantangula, in a statement today, hours after the Senate voted to impeach Ruto's previous deputy Rigathi Gachagua. He received a message from the president regarding the nomination of Kindiki to fill the vacancy which has occurred in the office. Kenya's Senate voted to dismiss Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua from office by an impeachment of 5 out of 11 charges. Public comments. Still in Africa, 7 people have been killed and 6 injured after a suicide bomber detonated an unidentified device at a cafe outside a police training school in Somalia's capital, Mogadishu. According to a statement by the police, both officers and civilians were among the victims who had been drinking tea outside the General Kahia Police Academy yesterday. Al-Shabaab, the armed group that links to Al-Qaeda, claimed the responsibility for the attack. The group frequently targets military and state institutions in its efforts to overthrow Somalia's government, which has launched an ongoing offensive against it. Outside Africa, King Charles III arrives in Australia today, beginning the most strenuous foreign trip since his cancer diagnosis and a thought showcasing busy barbecues, famed landmarks, and pressing climate dangers. Charles becomes the first reigning monarch to set foot down under since 2011, when thronging crowds flocked to catch a white glove wave from his mother Queen Elizabeth II. The 75-year-old king will spend about 20 hours in the air before his flight lands in Sydney, where the montage of 16 previous Australian visits will beam across the Opera House in its sails. Global Box is reaching you live from Adamimogo 107.7 FM Idoikiti. Still to come. Israel's Netanyahu vows a Gaza war not over after seeing was alleged killing. Please stay with us.
Hello, good people of Ekiti State and its environment. For your private, political, family, or club meetings, and so on, of not more than 50 to 100 participants, we introduce to you Adamimogo Event Hall. Yes! Right at Olojudo's Palace, Adamimogo 107.7 FM's compound, Ido Ekiti. Ample parking space, good security, clean environment. You also have the opportunity to book for a media publicity of your event on our fast-growing social media platforms. All these for a talking. Simply visit us at Olojudo's Palace, Ido Ekiti, or call the following numbers for more inquiries: 0803 526 5812 or 0916 340 0878 or 0806 511 4430. You can also call 0806 380 8891. Adamimogo Event Hall. We are waiting for your patronage.
Glad to know you stayed there and you're welcome back. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook via Adamimogo 107.7 FM. For happenings around you or news inquiries, please contact our newsroom on this number 0811 801 8242. Now to the rest of the news. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has declared that the war in Gaza is not over following the alleged killing of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, even as the Western leaders expressed hope that his death would present an opportunity to end the year-long conflict. Netanyahu, in a recorded address yesterday, said that the evil has suffered a heavy blow, but the task before U.S. is not yet complete.
Evil has suffered a heavy blow, but the task before us is not yet complete. To the dear families of the abductees, I say, this is an important moment in the war.
Netanyahu's sentiments were echoed by other prominent Israeli politicians, including Benny Gantz, the leader of the center-right National Unity Party. Gantz, who resigned from Netanyahu's emergency war cabinet in June amid disagreements over the prime minister's handling of the war, said the mission is not over and Israeli forces would operate in Gaza for years to come. Meanwhile, United States President Joe Biden has congratulated Israel on his announcement of killing Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, calling it a relief for Israel and a step towards ending the Gaza war. Biden also said the claimed assassination of Sinwar, which Hamas has not confirmed, was an opportunity for a political settlement to the conflict.
And it must end such that Israel is secure, the hostages are released, the suffering in Gaza and the
move on, move toward a ceasefire in Gaza, ensure that we move in the direction that we're going to be in a position to make things better for the whole world. It's time for this war to end and bring this hostages home.
Speaking after campaign event in the U.S. state of Wisconsin, Vice President Kamala Harris echoed the Biden stance.
And it must end such that Israel is secure, the hostages are released, the suffering in Gaza and the Palestinian people can realize their right to dignity, security, freedom, and self-determination.
The boards may think that the U.S. helped Israeli forces locate and track Sinwar along with one of Hamas leaders. The administration of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has announced the arrest of 5 foreigners suspected of anti-government activity as part of an ongoing crackdown after the country's contested presidential election. Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello yesterday said that 3 people from the United States, 1 from Bolivia and 1 from Peru, are being detained for alleged terror activities without offering details. Caballo on state television says the detained foreigners speak Spanish perfectly, a necessary requirement for them to involve themselves in communities, adding that one of those from the U.S. had been detained in the Boba state of Zulia. Meanwhile, human rights groups says repression has increased in Venezuela after the presidential race on July 28. On entertainment, Ed Sheeran has urged others to be kind as he paid tribute to Liam Payne following his death at the age of 31. Musicians and famous faces have been remembering the singer after police in Argentina said he died falling from the 3rd floor balcony of a hotel in Buenos Aires. Payne rose to fame as part of One Direction, who went on to become a global sensation after they finished 3rd on the X Factor in 2010. Alongside a black and white photo of Payne smiling shared to Instagram, Sheeran wrote, and I quote, "At a loss for words, expressing thoughts with his family and loved ones, Sheeran added that every memory with him is a great one. Just such a heartbreaking situation. Be kind. X." End of quote. On sport, Real Madrid star Kylian Mbappe, linked to being the target of a rape investigation in Sweden, is to keep any explanations for Swedish justice if necessary. This is according to his lawyer, Mari-Ali Kano Bernard, who yesterday said he retains the primacy of his explanations if necessary to the Swedish justice system. The lawyer strongly denounced the media allegations suggesting that Kylian Mbappe spoke about the events of his trip to Stockholm. With our sports story, we end this edition of Global Box on Adamimogo 107.7 FM Idoikiti. Before we go, the highlights again. We told you that in Nigeria, the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Abubakar, has reiterated the federal government's determination to tackle banditry and insecurity in the country. We also told you that King Charles III arrives in Australia today, beginning the most strenuous foreign trip since his cancer diagnosis, and a tour showcasing busy barbecues, famed landmarks, and pressing climate dangers. Finally brought it to you that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has declared that the war in Gaza is not over following the alleged killing of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, even as Western leaders expressed hope that his death would present an opportunity to end the year-long conflict. That's a Global Box on Adamimogo 107.7 Olojudo's Palace, Idoikiti. On behalf of the production crew led by Oladoni Ayegbusi, my name is Kingsley Iniovosa. Good afternoon.